Well, here we go. This is my 2006 Ford Focus SE Wagon. Now, is it perfect? Certainly not. Some small issues with it. The check engine light's on. It's a P0446 emission control issue. A little bit of a gas smell, so somewhere along the system there's a bit of a problem. The airbag light is on. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to get that diagnosed. There's a bit of a whining sound coming from the engine. Could just be a belt that needs to be replaced. And I did feel a little bumpiness when I was turning. So I don't know, maybe something with the steering. But mechanically though, the car works. It was inspected. It is much safer. I mean, honestly, literally anything else on this earth is safer than that poor Intrepid that I bought. It just needs a little bit of love. Now there's a couple things with it. This is not fully loaded. The SE was the second trim here in Canada. The SES would have been fully loaded. You would have gotten a couple extra things, maybe fog lights, a tilt telescoping steering wheel, which actually would have been really nice because this one's kind of at a weird angle, and some other small little things that you might need. But for the most part, you have power locks, power windows, power mirrors, headlights. I do have the remote fob for it. The only thing I'm gonna have to figure out is this car would have come with the original factory fob and keyless entry system and all of that. Well, not keyless entry, but key fob system. But there's a second system that's attached to the top of this, and it's very similar in terms of what I had on the Intrepid, which actually didn't work before I had a chance to do anything with it. So I have to see, did somebody take the original factory key fob casing and put the innards of this system into it? Easiest way to check is just to pull the plug off of the transmitter and see if I could still open and lock the doors. But I'm kind of thinking maybe it's just like a secondary alarm, or maybe whoever had this before had only one key and they had a secondary key fob system to get in and out of the car. I don't really know. There's not going to be a lot of history on this one. Once again, buying a car pretty much as is. But there are a couple things I would like to do with it. I didn't really touch on that with the last video that we did, the little reveal on this car, because I needed some time to think about it. But unlike the Intrepid, where there were only two cars at the local sort of international auto wreckers, and we're up in Rouen, which is about 4 or 5 hours from here, maybe more. It's up near Val d'Or. The Focus, there's about 75 of them just up the street in the local international wrecker. So I can easily find parts for this. What would I like to do with it? What would I like to do to make this car a little bit more enjoyable for me? Fog lights. It's a nice plus. Some of the cars that I saw online did have them. And I found a video online sort of showing what you kind of need to do, and it looks like you just pop off the little covers there, and theoretically the wiring should already be there, so that would be great. Replace that, put those fog lights in with the housing, and then I just have to replace the actual light switch on the inside here. Everything else should work, so that should be pretty simple. Way back, if you watch the video on my 1990 Honda Accord, I actually put the fog lights on that car, and I had to run the whole thing. I had to put the fog lights in, run the wiring harness into the light control module, run it into the dashboard from the firewall in the engine bay, get it hooked up, and it was a little bit labor intensive, but it worked. So I'm hoping this will be a little bit easier. I would like to get some alloy rims on here. These are steel rims with plastic hubcaps. I can source some relatively cheap alloys that would have come on this car, on the SES, for about $100 or so. It'd be nice to have some summer tires on here and eventually replace the summer tires, probably with something that isn't old, because I don't imagine they're gonna be very good. Last thing I'd like to do is get the cover for the back, for the trunk area. Yeah, if I am gonna be actually using this as a wagon, which I should, it's one of the reasons why I would want to buy a vehicle like this, I would like to make sure that people don't see what's in the back. So I'm going to look for one of those. I need to find a beige one, since this is a beige interior. I did find a gray one online for about $75. I think I could probably find one at a junkyard for hopefully a lot less. So those are the sort of modifications I want to do. Cleaning wise is going to be pretty much the same thing that I wasted my time with on the Intrepid. The windshield here is pretty dirty, so I'm going to use our invisible glass on that. All the interior and exterior windows will get cleaned up that way. I want to do the seats, do the carpeting, get the smell out of it, because it is a little smelly. But unlike the Intrepid, this wasn't abandoned. This vehicle was being used up until a couple months ago. The place I bought it from another place. They wholesaled it about a month ago. So the car is actually in pretty decent shape. One thing I'm a little disappointed with, and I'll show you, I can pull my camera off of here so you can come with me as we go on our little voyage of looking around this car. It'll just take a second as I disconnect this, and I hope you guys don't have vertigo. But I guess I should have maybe mentioned it to the guy who was putting the car together for me at the shop that I didn't really want any exterior rust proofing because it looks kind of ugly now. So there we go. You'll see here along the bottom I have some, it looks pretty much like black spray paint. That actually wasn't there when I took a look at the car earlier yesterday. Some bad damage down there, but then he sprayed it. So there was actually no significant rust on the bottom of the car, and I've got this ugly spray paint. I don't even know if I can scrape it off. I mean, maybe it's going to be a pain in the ass. I already did the badge on the back. I'm a little hit or miss when it comes to dealer stickers. Personally, I don't like them, but if it's an old vehicle, then I'd keep it on. So this one was originally bought from Des Lauriers in Laval. That dealer has not existed since about 2007. So this might have been one of the last cars that was sold there. Who knows? Got our local Urgeau on here. But the trunk's pretty good. There's some rust though along the bottom. Again, it's going to be hard to see, but inside of there, it's a little rusted out. You can see maybe a little bit more there. You can see that. And like the inside here is, it's not awful, but it's not great. So I got to clean all of this up, vacuum it, do something about the carpets because the gross plastics, that's nasty. So clean up all that, get it all done. And even here, like, I guess it's some sort of rust proofing, but anyway, like the plastics are a little rough. Trunk is super light though. So shut that down. Back seat space. Doors are locked. Hello. It's nice to have the key fob with it. All the doors work and everything. You can see that yeah, somebody pissed their pants back here, so I'm gonna have to clean that up. Should be fine with the cleaning spray that I have. It worked pretty well on the Intrepid. Seatbelts work, they're not too dirty. And yeah, so I mean, like, is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it safe? Definitely. A lot safer than what I was driving before. And then even here in the driver's area, only thing I really have to look at is the climate control. It didn't work when I bought it. The mechanic fixed it. So there is actual heat and ventilation coming out. It does feel like the air conditioning works, but I can't actually change to have the direction. So right now it's just kind of going on the floor. But I should be able to kind of get into there. It doesn't seem to be too difficult. And again, you can see the seats, you know, little hole there, and kind of gross everywhere else. But yeah, some cleaning spray should be fine. Even in here, the speaker grill, it's kind of gross. Maybe I can pop that off. Pressure wash the doors. Reminds me again very much of the state of the Intrepid when I bought it. So yeah, I'm in familiar territory when it comes to cleaning things up. Let's pop the hood. I guess this has turned more into an informal walk around than anything else. I didn't really know what I was going to be filming here today. So let me just use my other hand. So yeah, I mean, it's an engine. It's dirty. It's real dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. So it's going to be something I'm going to have to take a look at. But again, mechanically, it seems to be what you would expect for a very inexpensive vehicle. 4.5 liter, I assume that's how much oil it takes to put in. But yeah, I mean, like, it's a car, right? It works. It's kind of what I need. I need something cheap and stupid. And yeah, it ain't pretty, but I had something much worse, right? So that's pretty much what we got going on there. Overall, not too bad. So I don't know if it's gonna really work. I'm not gonna put it back on the tripod. It's a little annoying. So yeah, the plan, again, the original reason why I bought the Intrepid wasn't to have a vehicle that I necessarily liked. I did like the Intrepid. I miss it. I even saw one today and I was sad. But the point of the car is to leave it in Montreal. It's when I have vehicles like this Lincoln, when I pick it up from the press fleet, sometimes I have to drive to the other manufacturers, and that starts to cost, you know, about $50 every time in taxis. So a vehicle like this, it's gonna be left in Montreal. But I still wanna like it, that's the problem. I really can't find a car that I absolutely hate that I could just neglect. So this one, despite the fact that it's a little rough, and it's not necessarily what I wanted, I'm still gonna like it. So we're gonna be doing some stuff to it, probably do some videos on it. Obviously there's gonna be no more of the Intrepid, that car is gone, but we're gonna be doing some stuff with this bad boy. Maybe it's something that you're gonna be interested in seeing more of. I'm gonna be driving it, do some videos on it. Once I get it cleaned up and everything sort of sorted out for the most part, I will do a proper review on it, do a regular episode of Test Drive, let you know what to look for if you're in the market for this generation Ford Focus, and go over everything else that we would normally do on a full episode of Test Drive Spotlight on this. If you have any questions about this vehicle, please let me know. As soon as I stop recording this, I'm gonna be starting to clean the car up, so that's why I'm dressed kind of like a bum. So we're gonna be doing that. But if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't liked this video already, then please do so. Subscribe to the channel if this is your first time here. I apologize if there's any wind. It's been a crazy couple days here, so hope you enjoyed this, and we'll be seeing you real soon. Thanks for watching, and take care.